All right, we are ready to go.
All right, I will call to order the town board meeting on Monday, December 14th, 2020 at 6:31 PM. And roll call, please.
Supervisor Mark Moonen,
Present and chair.
Supervisor Linda Beal,
Present.
Supervisor Rebecca Plotecker. Here. Chairman Joseph Osterman is absent and excused. We also have Administrator Kathy Nicholas and Clerk Elisa Capazzo to record the minutes.
All right, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, item agenda 4, citizen comment. Seeing none present. Administrator's report, number 5.
Treasurer Joan has finished the cash reconciliations through October now. He's working on preparation for audit, tax collection, and finishing up journal entries for the rest of the accounts. Tax bills will be sent out tomorrow. Currently, they are on the county website. Both Mary and Joan will be working on daily tax collection. Prelim audit has been scheduled for January and the regular audit has been scheduled for February. The parks have sanitized and closed down the parks for the winter and set up the ice rink. Public Works was a big help during the election, helping set up the polling places. And they have worked on setting up their plows and wings and got to use them last night. They installed the snow fences and have been working on removal of trees in the road right of way. The fire department had 15 rescues, 39 EMS calls, 1 building fire, chimney fire, and off-road heavy equipment fire. The sheriff had 64 traffic stops, 34 citations, 25 verbal warnings, did 145 building checks, 6 domestics, 1 fraud, and 16 suspicious manner. The clerk worked on closing out the November election, reviewed with the vendors on the new site and approved a timeline to continue the work and started work on Laserfish. The laptops that were purchased through the grant will be in the office by the end of the week and set up, 1 for each of the town board members and 1 for each of the plan commission members. The AV upgrade will start, they're starting pulling wires on tomorrow in the fire station. We will have our first plan commission meeting in the fire station using the new high definition cameras, if we can get notification out. We already did our notification of public hearing for the plan commission, so we're working on
Will
on
it
that
always be
possibility.
there, Kathy, then from now on?
plan commission, because then we can get our spacing. We're struggling trying to get the spacing in here.
Mhm.
The upgrade here will also be done before our next town board meeting. And then finally, I will be out for a funeral on Thursday. So
Sorry.
that's my report.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the administrator? All right, number 6, supervisors reports. Linda?
I'm nothing. We have a meeting next Wednesday, this Wednesday night. Next time I'll have a report.
All right. And Becky?
No, I don't have anything.
Just a note from DPW, please don't leave snow in the roadway. Not that our clothes can't handle it, but they don't like hitting icebergs. So just make sure not to deposit snow in the street. And that's all we got. Item number 7, discussion and approval of minutes from the November 23rd town board meeting. Draft is presented in the packet. Looking for a motion.
I make a motion we accept as presented.
Motion by Beal,
I'll second it.
second by Plotecker. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed? Motion passes 3-0. All right, number 8, upcoming meetings and events. Sanitary District number 1. The commission will meet on Wednesday, December 16th, 6:30 PM at Town Hall, correct?
Mhm. Yes.
And Park Committee will meet Monday, December 21st 6:30 PM at the Richard Young Fire Station. Town Board on Monday, December 28th is canceled. Town Board will resume in 2021 on January 11th at 6:30 PM at the Town Hall. Planning Commission with joint public hearings is going to be Thursday, January 14th, 2021 at 6:30 PM here at the Town Hall.
Is that going to be moved?
If we can get the notices out, because we had to publish in the paper 30 days in
30 days
advance.
in
Oh.
advance.
And it was
Gotcha.
published to be held at Town Hall.
Okay, thank
So
you.
we're going to see if we can legally notice to change it.
Okay.
All right. Any other upcoming meetings and events to be noticed? All right. Old business, none on the agenda. Item number 10, Planning Commission recommendations. First one is Tom Auer, the Ground Crafter LLC, for approval of major grading conditional use permit for the property located at W220 and 6437 Town Line Road, LSBT 0240.992.002.
In front of you, you have the document from Rachel on the major grading permit conditional use. The Plan Commission approved with the listed conditions 1220 or 1210 for your approval.
I make a motion. We accept Tom Hours for the Ground Crafter for approval of the major grading conditional use permit for the property located at West 220 North 6437 Lane Road.
Motion made by Supervisor Beal and seconded by Supervisor Potek.
I think it's a great thing. Nice for the area.
Yeah, renderings look really nice.
Yeah, beautiful.
Any further discussion on the matter? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. Motion passes 3-0. All right, second, number 10 is discussion approval of participation plan for a 10-year update to the Lisbon Comprehensive Development Plan.
So every 10 years, the upgrade to the land use plan is to be done. Before we can make changes to the land use plan, we must have a participation plan in place. This will allow us to look at the land use plan at the next Plan Commission meeting in Town Board. Was approved by Plan Commission on 12/10.
All right. Was there any major changes?
No,
that we need to
none.
discuss? Becky, anything from the Planning Commission?
Pardon me?
Anything from the Planning Commission to note?
No. Mm-mm.
All right.
I will make a motion that we approve the public participation plan for the 10-year update to the Lisbon Comprehensive Development Plan.
Motion made by Supervisor Potecker and
I second.
Supervisor Beal, second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed? Motion passed 3-0. Moving on to item number 11, the new business.
So we have, I believe we have Don on the Zoom. Is that correct?
Yep. Good evening, everybody.
Hello, Don.
How you doing?
Good. We'll discuss the review of bids and potentially award a contract for roadway and storm pond for lead site development.
Yeah, I believe everybody should have in front of them a site plan review or site plan review letter. I'm sorry, a recommendation letter on the bids along with the bid tab. It's kind of a monstrous bid tab, but we opened bids on December 10th for the construction of the road into the lead site. I guess we're calling it Richard Road, and the storm pond, as well as the improvements out on Main Street or County Highway F that were required by Waukesha County as part of permitting for that. So that portion of the project was bid out. As I said, we opened bids on December 10th. We had 9 bidders, with one of the bids coming in under estimate. And the good thing is it came in $200,000 underneath our estimate for the project. It was Wondrick Construction out of Iron Ridge. Our firm does have a lot of experience working with Wander. They're a good firm. I had told Kathy after the bid opening I'd recommend them to anybody. I did 2 projects with them earlier this year. But again, through the course of 25 years, I've worked with them a bunch of times. So that's the good news. As I said, only one bid came in under. The rest of them a couple were close, and the rest of them are up around over 2 million. If you look through all the numbers, the big thing was section C in the bid, which was the storm pond itself. I think just based upon the level of bedrock and questions in terms of the liner and stuff, I think there was just some uncertainty there with bidders. But as I said, the good news is we got one that came in under, and it's well under bid, so that's good news for the town. If awarded, I did speak with the contractor. They would like to get started yet, February, March-ish, maybe working on that storm pond and then starting to grade the road, but obviously not get too carried away because asphalt plants don't open up until May. So, but they would like to get going here early spring for sure. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question it's actually the last line on the, it's page 3. What is the deduct 40,000 section under Wandro?
So what that is with the storm pond right now, the way we have it spec'd out, it's a PVC liner. And with there being possible available clay on the site, we put in there an alternate bid just to see how it would come in with doing a clay liner on the storm pond. So what we did is we added it put it in the bid as an alternate, as an add deduct, we call it, just to see if it would add to someone's bid or if it'd be a deduct out of somebody's bid. And if you look at that item across the board, it varied greatly how people looked at it. I think one bidder didn't even put a number to it. And some others, I think there's one in there over $200,000 as an ad. So Wander's got it in there as a deduct. It's something for the board to consider. The way the spec was written for the project, it was they'd have to make up any shortfall of clay. So if there wasn't enough clay on site, they're still responsible for importing clay and making sure there's enough there to complete the liner. So it's something to consider if the town board would be interested in pursuing that.
So would we have to deduct the 40,000 from the total bid price, total bid?
Correct. It'd be 40,000 coming off of that 1.478. Yes. Yep.
And that's only when they get there, if there is clay on site.
Well, that would be us deciding to go with a clay liner. I think my recommendation right now would be let's award the base bid of $1,478,000. Let's award that, and then we go into the pre-construction meeting. I think we can look at this a little bit harder, and if anything, we do the deduct as a change order to take it out of the contract. So it'd basically be us deciding to going from a PVC liner to a clay liner. So that, it'd be deciding to do a different type of liner for the pond. But I think the safe way to do it right now, just that we can, dot our I's and cross our T's with that, is let's award, if we're going to do an award, let's award the base bid. And then before construction even gets started, if we want to consider doing the clay liner, we could do it as a change order to the contract.
And what's going to change that? The amount of clay that we discovered during?
The amount of clay that we discover, and yes, maybe it's something we don't even want to consider it. DNR said it was fine. I guess I'd like to check with them one more time before we, make a final decision on it. Not that we go ahead and tell the contractor this is what we're going to do and come to find out that there's still some questions. So we just opened bids on the 10th. So this is one item where I would like to do a little bit more making sure before we make a final decision on that.
Any other questions from the board? Staff? All right, thanks, Don.
Thank you.
I guess with that being said, I'll make a motion to approve and award a contract to Wandra Construction of Iron Ridge, Wisconsin, for a bid not to exceed $1,478,965.12. And is there a second?
I second.
Second placed by Supervisor Beal. Any discussion on the top? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And all opposed? No nays. Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you, everybody. If I just could real quick, Kathy, could we keep this item on, the liner on for January?
Sure, yes, we can.
Okay, that way we'll just make a final decision at that meeting whether we want to go with the alternate or not.
Okay, we'll also be talking about funding at that point too.
Okay.
All right. Item B, under 11, discussion and action regarding the 2021 police services contract with Washington County Sheriff's Department.
So in front of you, you have the sheriff's contract. Monthly cost of $62,622.79. You did approve the amount of the contract in the budget.
This is just an updated notice for year 4 of our contract.
That's correct. Every year we approve the cost one more time, same contract. But
If there's any questions, be looking for a motion.
I make a motion, we accept the 2021 police services contract as presented with Waukesha County Sheriff's Department.
Supervisor Beal made the motion. A second.
I'll second.
Second by Supervisor Polotek. All in favor, sorry, discussion.
I just want to remind us, please, how much did it go up? Not much.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
I was just trying to look on the,
I'd be happy to send it to you in an email.
okay, that's fine. Thank you.
I looked on the list of the bills paid too to see if it's
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It is. Oh, no, this one isn't. It's the wrong one. It's not on this one.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
circle
couldn't
it.
find it.
Okay,
It's not on this one.
okay,
I remembered circling a
okay.
60,000. It was advanced 69,000.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? No opposed, motion passed 3-0. Uh, 11C, adoption of resolution approving the 2021 budget for Lake Country Municipal Court.
So in front of you, you have the budget of $402,503. It's the anticipated budget for all the administrative costs. I also added on the it was on the beginning, the document from Judge Kay about the matter of putting our on people in housing people that haven't paid, so they put out a warrant and then they'd be sitting in housing until they pay. We talked about the fact that we prefer that they use tax intercept or some other tax collection than having them sit in jail, because that costs us a daily fee. So I sent you that information. They are going to give it a try this year and we'll revisit it again next year. But he prefers to do everything across the board for all his communities. So I did want to make sure you understood. I did contact him and what their decision was on that. So in front of you, you have the resolution approving the municipal court budget for $402,503.
So we are going to allow the new practice. He will allow the new practice.
He will allow it for this year, and we can revisit it at the end of the year to see if it made any difference.
Was the police services fine with that?
Yes. Yeah, I was talking to Captain.
All right. Questions for staff? And we'd be looking for a motion on 11C.
I'll make a motion, we approve the 2021 budget for Lake Country Municipal Court at $402,503.
And is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Supervisor Beal. Any discussion on the matter? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? No opposed? Motion passed 3-0. Next is discussion and possible action regarding amendments to Barnwood Development Agreement to address required tree sizes.
So you don't have anything in your packet to go over this, but I did want to bring this up. The owner of Barnwood, Mr. Miller, had contacted me. In his developer's agreement, it states that they have to put 4 trees on each lot, and each of the trees needed to be a minimum of 4 inches around. They're having, he asked if, if we could reduce that to 2.5 inches around, same amount of trees, but just 2.5 inches. One, because they're, a 4-inch tree is very costly, and 2, they don't transport or they don't take hold well, is what I've been told. So I wanted to bring it to the board to see if the board had any concerns about that. I did look at our code. Our code does not state that trees in new developments need to be 4 inches. I believe they say 2 actually, but he was willing to go 2.5. But I wasn't here during that discussion of Barnwood, so I'm not sure what the thoughts were on why in the developer's agreement we put 4 inches. Anybody remember that?
I don't have any input on that. Becky, do you?
No,
remember?
I don't remember why. I know they wanted 4 trees, but I don't remember why they wanted them 4 inches.
What are your thoughts being in the planning commission?
I don't have a problem with them doing what, 2.5 inches?
2.5 inches instead of 4, but still the 4 trees.
Right. Yeah, I don't have any problem with it.
I mean, does the planning commission need to specify the tree diameter? Or, I mean, why would this one be 4 if our code allows? For
I don't
2?
know. That was my first subdivision. So I don't know why they required 4-inch trees.
And I didn't bring it to the plan commission because developers agreements don't go to the plan commission, they only come to the town board.
Mhm.
If you'd like to table this and ask me to bring it up for discussion at the next plan commission meeting, I'd be happy to do that. It's not like they're planting anything in the next 2 months.
I guess, would that be something the contracted staff can look at for? I guess I don't want to set a precedent for allowing amendments on this. I would imagine it was approved under a certain reason.
And I'm not sure what the reasoning was. I did talk to Brian about it to see if he had any reason, and he said he remembers a discussion, but he doesn't remember why it was set at 4 inches.
Did a developer normally put in 4-inch trees though with his other projects?
He did not state that. I could
I
not
think that
answer
should
that.
be, So just
So-
trying to economize?
So if you, because the cost is, in a lot of cases, is borne by the property owner, the new property owner, and they're having trouble getting trees at, thousands of dollars for a tree that big around. So if you'd like to table it, and I can go back and do some more research on it. That's why I don't have anything in front of you. I wasn't sure exactly how you felt about the 4-inch to 2.5 inch. But I did look it up. I did talk to Brian. We didn't see any reason why it went to 4 inches. So
Are you talking about Brian?
building inspector.
What about planner? I mean, I guess that would be my,
I can talk
Question
to
about-
Rachel. She wasn't here during that time,
I think,
which
yeah,
is the discussion is what we want.
I mean, it just seems odd that they would go 1.5 inches over what's required. I don't
Mhm.
know if
Yeah,
that's-
I wonder
If
if
that's
they
their-
didn't, if that's what
The
they,
developer might have said it, and so then they put it in there, and because we didn't have a template for our developer disagreement until just recently. So our attorney now has put a template together for our developers. Instead of, in the past, the developer put the DAs together and then it was just kind of reviewed by our attorney to make sure it was legal. So there was no discussion about if it's more than what our code requires. I would think that our attorney wouldn't balk at that as long as it.
Well, and I don't know too if it has something to do with the PUD.
Right, because that was our first one, so I don't.
Yeah, seeing as they're not gonna plant any trees right now, I guess I will, I'll make a motion to postpone until
Table?
their table, so we can get their input instead. Motion made by Moonen and seconded by Beal. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed. 3-0.
So in front of you, you have the reduction of letter of credit. Is Mitch or Don still on the line?
Looks like Don's still on.
Don, did you want to speak on this?
I'm still on the line, but Mitch took care of this on his own, Kathy, so I don't have I can't give much of a history behind the reduction in the letter of credit because I haven't looked at it myself.
Okay, no problem.
You want me to read that then?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, so this is the discussion and possible action regarding an updated letter of intent for received from Brian Building regarding Leeds Nursery Development. This is read from a letter dated December 10th. And that is, that's Haas Farms Development.
So the Brian Building, I'm sorry, I had jumped ahead to F. We should still go on to E, which is what you just read. And that was Brian Builders. They have the agreement with the board on the sale of the property for the industrial portion of the development at Leeds. His agreement with the town was over November 30th. He came back and asked for an extension. The current contract allows for the extension of 4 months. When the two of Joe and I sat and spoke about it, we agreed that a year might be of more help to him. During that time, if, as we all know, we were going through the COVID situation, the pandemic situation, as well as we didn't get Wyckoff off the ground as quickly as first imagined. So, so he's asking for an extension, same exact contract, just an extension for another year. Is that correct? And he is in the audience if you have any questions.
Thanks for being here. Just some changes I noted in the strikeoff copy. It went from approximately 35.3 acres to 28.7 acres located along Highway 74, I guess old Highway 74, west of Town Line Road. What was the reason for striking out 7 acres?
That's the Wyckoff property.
Okay. So they also took off parcel A.
That was Wyckoff's property,
That's Wyckoff's property.
right?
So essentially it's moving from November 30th, 2020 to 2021. Do you have any input on this for us to consider?
Yes, the whole.
If you wanna just state your name and position for the record.
Joe Jersenis, Business Development at Brian Building. So the extension was, we had the agreement and it was to bring the first user to the industrial park. And then from there, it was going to allow us to grow and start marketing it a lot more efficiently. You kind of need that first one to come in and start the infrastructure and get the park off the ground. COVID was the reason. So we brought Wyckoff in and we presented Wyckoff, we assigned them the land, everything as we talked about. They asked to delay the project a year, so they kind of put our plans on hold for a year as well. And so now we're looking to, We are working with a 300,000 square foot user there, and we do want to start to market a spec building for the property, which is all going to draw interest to the land. Now, in that process, if we find someone who wants to do a build-to-suit, we'll obviously do a build-to-suit for them. But I think now's the time, especially with Wyckoff going, that we're going to be able to really kind of pick up the steam with it.
So I just have, Joe, can you explain to the board about the pile of dirt that's there on the property? I think you mentioned something to me about moving that.
Yeah, and if Don's still on the phone, he could kind of, because we're
Yep.
debating right now with Don on, we got to, you guys are putting the road infrastructure in, so we all have scopes of work associated with it.
Right.
Part of our job is to relocate the majority of that dirt, and we're going to be able to separate it out, and we're going to do some berming on the back as part of our job as well. And that was part of the reason, we'll take up that work, but we had the property under contract, so it was kind of understood what was going on.
Mhm.
So now we're just sitting here a year later on everything, and that's why we're asking for the extension. Did I kind of say that right, Don?
Yep.
So the reason I brought it up was it was brought up at the plan commission meeting, this pile of dirt. And so I remembered us talking.
Yep.
So I wanted to make sure the rest of the board could understand that.
So again, Joe, what parcels are we talking about? You're talking about A and, C and D?
So we're talking about the remaining stuff on the industrial side of the Leeds nursery.
Right.
Now, if we're looking at that exhibit in front of you, the parcel D, there's still a situation that I don't know with the previous landowner. I don't know if that's been worked out yet with,
It has not.
okay, so some other land. So that's why I kind of left it in there. But I was talking about all the remaining land for the purposes of what we're looking to do.
So B, C, and if we work things out with D, then D as well.
So B and C.
Correct.
Wyckoff went to A.
Correct.
Now, because you're buying this for the amount stated on this, but you obviously, if you don't get someone who wants to build per their specs, you will put a spec there.
That's our intention, to see if we can. So we will not close unless we have tenants for that spec building.
Okay. The
Mhm.
question that, is there any protection for the town in there because we're selling it for such a cost? That when you turn around and sell it, that the town wouldn't get some value back for it? Is there any protection in there for us as a town? Or why can't that be?
I
We're
know
not reselling. We won't resell the land. So if you want to put that in there, our intention is not to resell the land.
But okay, but then who owns the land?
You still own the land. So we're asking for a year to control the land, to do what we did with Wyckoff, to draw more people in. And, in Southeast Wisconsin, this is what we do: industrial manufacturing buildings. And we own and manage about 3.6 million square feet of Class A industrial space.
Okay,
So instead of going in there and asking the board to spend all this infrastructure and all this improvements, it's, let us bring in Wyckoff, and now let us, work on the other parcels to bring other tenants in the same situation as Wyckoff, because they didn't want to lease from us, and we would have
Okay.
built them a build-to-suit. You sold them the land directly. So we didn't profit from any of the land sale on that.
okay,
We're just building the building for them. And that was part of the arrangement.
okay, I gotcha.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes.
So they work directly with us.
Mhm.
Can you explain the extension of 12 months as opposed to 6 months?
It's going to take a little bit. Now the roads infrastructure is going to start right when Wyckoff starts. In all honesty, it's a marketing situation, because once the road starts to go in, this becomes real. And then that's when we're going to be able to sit down with users and say, okay, this is actually happening. Because I think everyone knows the Leeds Nursery has been trying to get developed for, I think, close to 15 years. So is it 12, something like that. So that was the reason. I think it gives us a duration to actually be successful with getting the next users to be coming in.
Did staff attorneys look at this one since it was a contract, I guess?
Well, it's the exact contract that was there, except with those few
I mean-
crossouts. I did not have the attorney look at that. No.
Yes, one of the edits was from Hamas's office.
Okay.
On the red line copy,
The clear title?
It's the,
that's Attorney Hamas.
JW.
Yep.
Okay. I got no questions on, any further questions?
Mm-mm. Me either.
Becky, anything?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Nope.
At this time, I make a motion to grant a 12-month extension to the letter of intent for Brian Building regarding Leeds Nursery Development. And with a date expiring now. We can just make a one year from today. Is that acceptable?
We can do that.
December 14th, 2021.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Supervisor Moon, seconded by Fotecker. Any discussion?
Expiring 12/14/21.
Correct.
12. Okay.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
And all opposed? Motion passed 3-0.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item number F, 11F, request by Carrick Homes to approve reduction of letter credit number 1 by $1,433,500 for Haas Farms Development.
Take it up. Thank you.
And we got a letter in our packet that's dated December 10th from Mitch from Kunkel.
That's correct. As you see, he's recommending the reduction of the letter of credit with in the amount of $1,433,500, leaving a balance of the letter of credit of 400. That's not right. 411,500. He's asking for $100 or 100,000 remaining.
Yeah, it has in his second page of the December 8th letter. He's saying all that's remaining is $100,000 to cover the final lift.
That's what he's asking for, but
Is there any reason we're going to hold $311,500?
Or
Mitch doesn't cite any reason in that letter why he's keeping more.
right. In addition, the remaining construction dollars are subject to 20% financial guarantee.
I'd like to know why.
As he says, please note the
It's in
amount
here.
approved within this letter of credit does not total the same as the developer's request. Per section X of the developer's agreement, the letter of credit will be reduced from time to time, providing that the remaining letter of credit is sufficient to secure payment for the remaining improvements. So it sounds like the developer's agreement doesn't allow for him to drop all the way down. Because per section X.
You gotta maintain a certain value of that.
So if I understand you correctly, Carrick Homes wants it to 100,000, but Mitch says we should hold, the balance of the letter of credit is 411,500. He recommends that.
Right,
Correct.
because he says
Okay.
120% contingency,
Okay.
which is 307,500.
Okay.
And he's estimating the hot mix for that layer as 104,000. Then the 120% contingency, which brings you to the 411,500.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he did it.
Mhm.
Sorry, I should have read it earlier.
Anyone have any questions for staff on this? All right, I'll make a motion to, in accordance with the development agreement with the town, to reduce the letter of credit in the amount of $1,433,500 and no cents. Remaining balance of letter of credit will be $411,500 and no cents.
Mhm.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion made by Moonen, seconded by Beal. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion 3-0. All right. 11G, vouchers payable report for 11/24 through 12/10/2020 in the amount of $152,220 $2,228.19.
So we're asking for approval. Our large expenses were advanced disposal of $69,311.64. And the Kunkel Group for $22,085, and Premier Building Inspections of $17,607.18. And then finally, our Verbecker Associates, our planner, for $11,921.50. Asking for your approval.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since we pay the police department every month, why isn't that in here?
It's just not this bill yet. So we pay twice a month, but
Right,
we don't get the bill until after this meeting. So we'll get the bill and then we'll pay it.
so we'll pay it. We need to approve that to pay that, or we have to wait till January?
So normally, my understanding is your regular practice is that I send it all out. We pay them, and then I send you the information on what bills I'm paying, and I pay them.
We don't have to approve that?
And then we approve the document at your next meeting. But we do make sure we don't get late fees, so we do
Right.
pay our normal monthlies.
Yeah. Okay,
And I mean, to clarify that too, essentially, what we just did tonight, we split out 12 payments.
right,
Right.
So,
exactly. I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right, I'll make a motion to pay the report for $152,220.19.
I'll second it.
Made and seconded by Potecker. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
I-
And opposed? No opposition. Motion passed 3-0. And 11H monthly report of ACH and auto pays for 2020. Included in your packet. No need for any motions. Item 12 is adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Supervisor Beal,
I'll second it.
seconded by Potecker. Any discussion? And all in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed? None. 3-0 passes.
At each,
2:13 PM.
I would like a copy of your report, if you could give that to us.